Good morning. Please be seated. On peut diminuer les lumières, s'il vous plaît? Merci. Good morning again. My name is Marc Montéa, the Vice President and Dean of Student Services. I will be serving today as the Master of Ceremonies for this year's graduation commencement exercise. AUP graduating students, families, friends, and distinguished guests. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this very special commencement exercise of the graduating class of 2025. Chers futurs diplômés, chers parents, chers amis et chers invités, j'ai le plaisir de vous souhaiter la bienvenue à la cérémonie de remise des diplômes de la classe de 2025. Welcome, everyone. What a beautiful day. This is a day to recognize accomplishments, a day to look back on the last few years, and more importantly, a day to look towards the future. It might be emotional at times, and we have Kleenex all over the place. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Well, now that you're ready, let's begin. I call on Provost Wesley to give the welcome address.
Welcome, graduates, parents, friends, faculty, President Stevens, Chair Dorney, and members of the Board of Trustees. As the Provost of the American University of Paris, it is my honor and privilege to welcome all of you to this celebration of the class of 2025. I particularly want to extend an enthusiastic welcome to our graduating students. Commencement is a significant and special rite of passage. It marks both an end and a beginning. So with the class of 2025, please stand. I invite everyone here to applaud you. Now, with the graduates still standing, and recognizing that your accomplishments required the encouragement and support of so many others, I invite the graduates to applaud the wonderful faculty and staff of AUP for all the assistance they have provided to you over your time here. Now, turning to face your families and friends, I invite you to acknowledge their contributions to your success. Okay, thank you. You can sit down now. Settle in. So, from the classrooms of Grenelle to the cobblestones of Passage Landrieux, from the queues at the Amex and quiet hours in the atrium, to club meetings in the Quai and Combe, these spaces, these haunts and hangouts are now part of who you are. Just as much as the equations of maths for life, the perfect structure of an EN 2020 essay, labs, French vocab, and the research paper you toiled over for the senior seminar. AUP's corner of Paris's 7th arrondissement is mapped on your mind as surely as the intellectual and emotional journey university has taken you on. AUP is a part of you as surely as you made and you make AUP. You are graduates of a university founded on the ambition of building bridges. and common community among people from diverse backgrounds and localities. In AUP classrooms, students of over 100 different nationalities, speaking over 50 different languages, develop a capacity for ethical and political judgment, alert to cultural diversity. In choosing this diverse community, you demonstrated a generosity of mind and a courage of spirit that sets you apart. You embraced the unknown and the foreign. Now the unknown awaits you again. You are entering a professional world of increasing complexity, a social and political world that is riven by division and conflict. Yours is now the responsibility to harness and regulate the power of artificial intelligence. Yours is now the responsibility to ensure that democratic governance means the representation of all people. Yours is now the responsibility to shore up defenses to protect the climate. Yours is now the responsibility to consider the education of future generations. Education is hard won, and it is not offered to everyone. You have worked hard for your diplomas, and you deserve these laurels today. Always remember that education cannot be taken for granted. And for some of us here today, it is the work of a lifetime. So savor this moment and remember that whatever challenges the future holds, you are now equipped with the critical skills you need to face them. I speak on behalf of all faculty when I say that we are very much looking forward to seeing all that you go on to achieve. It has been our honor to know you, to teach you, and to work with you. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you, Hannah. Before we continue, I'm going to ask Raneem Grira, the newly elected President of the Undergraduate Student Council for 24-25, to please come forward and accept the custody of the mace. Thank you. The American University of Paris has a tradition of honoring those students, faculty, and distinguished individuals whose performances have been exceptional and whose contributions to the university deserve special recognition. I now call on Doris Donnie, AUP's Chair of the Board of Trustees.
The Board of Trustees of the American University of Paris recognizes annually the graduating senior who exemplifies truly outstanding achievement and who, by inspiring admiration for academic excellence, has made a significant contribution to the life of the university. The Board of Trustees Valedictorian Award for Outstanding Scholastic Achievement for undergraduate students goes this year to the student who achieved a remarkable cumulative GPA of 4.0 out of 4.0, the highest in the class, Angel Karjev. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Thank you. The Board of Trustees valedictorian for outstanding scholastic achievement for graduate students goes to Leah Curry, who achieved a cumulative GPA of 3.925 out of 4.0, the highest in the class. Congratulations, Leah. Every year, the Sin Ming Shaw Award, endowed by a gift from a 1965 alumnus of the American College of Paris, is awarded to recognize the academic excellence of our finest senior project. The awards committee would like to acknowledge the very high quality of this year's submissions and the difficulty of judging works across so many disciplines, methodologies, and issues. The variety and quality of this year's submissions are powerful testimonies to the talent of our students, as well as to the dedicated mentorship provided by their faculty advisors. This year's runner-up is Mallory Yost, No Country for Old Women, How the European Court of Human Rights, Klima Seniorinnen, ruling presents a new frontier of climate rights. Yo's essay is particularly impressive for the methodological strength of its original research. What makes this achievement even more remarkable is that it was carried out by an undergraduate student, demonstrating a level of research skill and academic maturity rarely seen at this stage of study. The 2025 Sin Ming Shaw Award, is Lila Hanga Vas, From Greenwashing to Genuine Impact, Ethical Challenges in Environmental Marketing and Its Impact on Consumer Trust in the Fast Fashion Industry. Vass's project stands out for its exploration of a highly relevant issue, the phenomenon of greenwashing in environmental marketing, a topic that is both timely and impactful in today's sustainable-focused world. Vass demonstrates exceptional skill in crafting a well-written, meticulously researched, and carefully structured essay. Her work employs a mixed method design, allowing for nuanced analysis, leading to practical recommendations. We commend Vass for the originality of her research, which is organically integrated throughout the essay. Leela, come forward, please.
Thank you. Congratulations, Lily.
The Board of Trustees of the American University of Paris honors each year a professor whose performance in the classroom is exemplary. AUP professors evince the highest possible commitment to the art of teaching and to its central role in liberal arts education. This year's Board of Trustees Distinguished Teaching Award is shared between two AUP professors whose dedication, mentorship, and inspiring classroom presence have left a lasting mark on students. The first recipient in just 7 months at AUP, 7 semesters, at AUP, has developed 8 new courses and taught 14 different classes. Colleagues describe him as dedicated, skilled, and responsive, while students call him amazing, very inspiring, and a great teacher who really engages you, one who knew me and my academic abilities and was there to help if I needed it. The second recipient, a longer-serving member of the faculty, is celebrated for his passion, expertise, and ability to foster a sense of community and engagement in the classroom. His impact spans all academic levels. One undergraduate noted, "He is a truly remarkable professor and academic, and I feel lucky to have had him as my instructor." While a graduate student shared, "He made me a better researcher and student." Congratulations to Professors Emre Çağlayan and Robert Payne.
You're most welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It is also the pleasure of the Board of Trustees of the American University of Paris to honor outstanding faculty achievement in the areas of research and publication, instructional design innovation, and interdisciplinary innovation. I will call the award winners at the same time after lauding their work. The award for Innovation and Instrumental Design goes to Caroline Laurent for her course French 2091A, Francophone African Literature and Arts, taught in spring 2025. Professor Laurent innovated not only by providing her students with a solid theoretical foundation through a varied, collaborative, and interdisciplinary approach that allowed them to think personally and critically, but also by making these theoretical foundations deeply alive and tangible, thanks to the organization of a unique study trip to Dakar, Senegal, a trip that gave them the opportunity to connect even more directly and concretely with the cultural and historical contexts studied in class, while also offering them the opportunity to have a powerful, useful, and supportive human experience. As they simultaneously organized a volunteer collection of school and hygiene supplies at AUP, which they then brought themselves to those in need on site. In short, a perfect example of experiential learning and human engagement that the jury is particularly honored to highlight this year. Bravo, Caroline. The award for innovation and interdisciplinary study goes to Professor Jürgen Hecker for his development of the media and journalism component of the École de Guerre Practicum, providing students with real-time newsroom experience working as journalists in broadcast, digital and print media covering simulated military and humanitarian crises at the French government's École Militaire. This course has become an essential and highly popular experiential learning offering for AUP's undergraduate and graduate students. Jürgen is unable to be with us today, but we congratulate him. The award for outstanding research or publication honors a faculty member who has achieved an impressive double this year in terms of publication and scholarly recognition. In February 2025, they published a book that highlights the gallery of often overlooked yet wholly indispensable artisans, stylists, and creatives who contribute to the collective genius of the fashion industry. Their extensively researched monograph entitled Figures de la mode, artisans, créateurs et ambassadeurs des styles profiles 20 key figures, arguing that it is the deep expertise of these craftspersons that truly makes up the vibrant and creative ecosystem of fashion that is today. In addition to their book, our faculty scholar received in March of this year the highest academic qualification in the French university system, the HDR, Habilitation à diriger des recherches, presenting a 3-volume dossier towards a cultural history of clothing and fashion. All this while becoming a parent for the first time. This year's award winner is Sophie Cordian of AUP's own Fashion Studies program. Would you please all step forward to receive your awards? Please step forward. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Caroline. You're Caroline.
The
First one. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you. Sophie? Congratulations. Merci. Merci.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I now call on Dr. Sonia Stevens, President of the American University of Paris.
Good morning, everyone. What a joy it is to welcome the class of 2025 at Mogador. And we're so pleased to welcome to the members of your families and your friends, and soon the worldwide AUP community of your connections will be able to watch this streaming, a couple of days, I think. It is my very great pleasure today to bestow a series of awards for distinguished performance and for service to the American University of Paris. First, the Barbara Reno Senior Prize for Excellence in Filmmaking and Screenwriting this year had a jury of 4 faculty: Emre Kalyan, Leo Galibert-Linné, Noah Teichner, and Marsha Lebina. The prize this year is valued at €500. And the award goes to Mogador Theatre for Crown. Modé's special, spellbinding short film explores the triple goddess archetype and proposes a mythical journey that guides the audience through themes of innocence, nurture, and wisdom. Modé spent an extraordinary amount of time producing this film, which was shot right before the winter in Bois de Vincennes, and putting together a cast and crew that included the AUP Dance Club. The jury was very impressed with Modé's command of cinematography and sound design and appreciated the film's brief ventures into horror, as well as its ethereal atmosphere. Congratulations, Modé. Congratulations on that. I couldn't make that. Congratulations. The Danielle Savage Global Professional Skills Award goes to the graduating senior whose summative story of her academic and career-enabling journey at AUP was selected by the jury as best in class. This year's winner is Caroline Franano. Hold on, I haven't finished talking about you yet. Carolyn presented her narrative on cultivating hope by serving others in her Kansas City community. Congratulations, Carolyn.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The Staff Award for Distinguished Service for 2025 goes to Tom DeBear. Tom works in information technology services, where his customer service, his exceptional work ethic, and his attention to detail have ensured that the department operates smoothly. He's patient, he's understanding, and his ability to communicate technical information in an understandable way has been particularly valuable. Tom is an exemplary employee whose dedication, technical expertise, and teamwork have significantly contributed to the success of the department and the university community. Is Tom here? Congratulations, Tom. I come now to our Distinguished Alumni Awards. The Distinguished Alumni Award recognizes graduates and former students of the American University of Paris, and before it, the American College of Paris, who have made outstanding contributions in their professional achievements, personal endeavors, and service to society, and who embody the core values of the institution. This year, we recognize 2 individuals who exemplify these criteria, excelling in their chosen profession, advocating for causes that improve the lives of others and that solve global challenges. 2 alumni who serve as role models within and beyond the AUP community. First, Alix Lebec, class of 2002. Alix Lebec, you are a visionary entrepreneur pioneering innovative models of philanthropy and finance to advance equity worldwide. You have mobilized international resources to bring transformative change to local communities, delivering access to clean water, empowering women as change makers, and helping build a more inclusive global economy. After earning degrees at the American University of Paris and the London School of Economics, you took leadership roles at the Clinton Global Initiative and Water.org, where you raised billions in capital and philanthropy and helped demonstrate the potential for business investment in water and sanitation. Together with Matt Damon and Gary White, you launched Water Equity, the world's first impact investment manager dedicated to ending the global water crisis, and rallied leading international investors. Now, as the founder and CEO of your own firm, Lebec, you bring this approach to a wide range of urgent challenges in partnership with entrepreneurs and investors. Your impact has been recognized through the 2024 Worthy 100 Award and by leading publications, and you continue to shape global conversations on finance, climate action, and equity through board and advisory roles. Alix Lebec, for your creativity, leadership, and tireless commitment to equity and opportunity worldwide, the American University of Paris salutes you and is proud to bestow upon you the Distinguished Alumni Award.
Hug, and then a hug. Thank you so much. So they want to take your picture. Whoops, never mind about that. Don't worry about it.
No problem. Shannon Henry, class of 2019, graduate student. Shannon Henry. Shannon here. Oh. Shannon Henry. You are an innovative biologist and entrepreneur, bridging science and luxury fashion to help shape the sustainable, creative economy of tomorrow. Fueled by rigorous research, your designs foster climate resilience and empower vulnerable communities as the next generation of creators. In your words, developing bespoke garments and limited edition collections is fun, but it's also necessary for a much greater cause. Guided by this vision, you founded the Kalia Group, a groundbreaking regenerative fashion enterprise integrating a design studio, a biotextile company, and a nonprofit to provide tools and training to small island developing states. Your luxury label, Bottega Kalia, strengthens communities by sourcing local materials and preserving artisanal traditions. You embodied these ideals when designing in 2022 a custom ensemble for the American University of Paris's then president Celeste Schenk on the occasion of the university's 60th anniversary gala, collaborating on this garment with craftswomen in northern India. You advanced global conversations on sustainable innovation at COP28 and through the United Nations Fashion and Lifestyle Network. You also continue to serve the ABUP community as a member of the President's Alumni Advisory Board. Shannon Henry, in recognition of your unwavering commitment and bold pursuit to build a more equitable fashion ecosystem that serves both people and the planet, the American University of Paris salutes you and is proud to bestow upon you, as a recent graduate, the Distinguished Alumni Award. Congratulations, Shannon.
Can I hug you?
I now call on Maddie Drucker and Leah Rebecca Nakpal, this year's presidents of the graduate and undergraduate student councils, to present the Student Government Awards.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. We're here today to present the Undergraduate and Graduate Student Government Awards.
These awards are unique in that the criteria are open-ended, but this year we've chosen to recognize individuals who have made a meaningful impact on students' lives and contributed to the campus community in a service-oriented way.
Each of us will be presenting an award to one staff member, one faculty member, and one student who truly made a difference this year.
So we'll start with the undergraduate awards. So to begin with the Undergraduate Student Government Staff Award. This year, the Student Leadership Office saw a wave of fresh energy and vision with a new program manager at the helm. In just her first year in the role, she has made a remarkable impact on how the office supports students in pursuing their passions, projects, and ideas. Her deep understanding of what students seek in campus life, combined with her enthusiasm for student involvement, has transformed the way the office engages with the community. She brings a bright, forward-thinking mindset and is a joy to work with. Her insights, professionalism, and creativity have helped reimagine what this office can offer, not just for today, but for the future. Beyond her role, she has become a mentor and a strong supporter of students across all class years. Many of the positive changes we've seen in the Student Leadership Office this year can be traced back to her dedication and vision. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Undergraduate Student Government Staff Award, Camille Davis. Okay, we'll wait.
Yeah, she's coming down.
Yes.
Oh, there she is.
Where is she?
I think she's on the...
Is that her?
Timmy, where are you?
Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Undergraduate Student Government Staff Award, Camille Davis. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. We'll move on to the Undergraduate Student Government Faculty Award. You'll often see this professor walking around campus greeting everyone with a warm smile and a kind word. He's a familiar, friendly presence, someone who doesn't just care about his own students, but genuinely cares about the entire student body. His impact extends far beyond the classroom. He's always open to conversation, whether you're seeking academic guidance, career advice, or simply an engaging discussion. His thoughtful insights and fresh perspectives make him a trusted mentor to so many. Students consistently describe his classes as safe, engaging, and intellectually enriching. His passion for what he teaches is infectious, and he creates a learning environment where students feel empowered to speak, question, and grow. This year, several student organizations that he advises nominated him for the Student Leadership Rise Award, in recognition of his unwavering support, constant presence at events, and his ability to inspire critical thinking and active participation across campus. He truly understands that developing student leaders doesn't just happen in the classroom, it's cultivated in every interaction and opportunity. Please join us in congratulating this year's recipient of the Undergraduate Student Government Faculty Award, Professor Ziad Majid. Camille Davis, everyone. Oh, we'll take a picture. Now we'll move on to the Undergraduate Student Government Student Award. This year's recipient of the Undergraduate Student Government Student Award has truly embodied the spirit of AUP through her tireless dedication, passion, and leadership across campus. Whether through her involvement in the Global Humanitarian Awareness Club, Campus UNICEF, the Sophomore Mentoring Program, or Serve the City, she has consistently shown what it means to lead with purpose and heart. She not only participates, she inspires others to get involved and make a difference. Her commitment to service and community has left a lasting mark on AUP, and her passion for meaningful change will undoubtedly carry her far. As she moves on to pursue a Master of Science in Sustainability and Social Innovation at HEC Paris, we know she will continue to do extraordinary things. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Undergraduate Student Government Student Award, Ashley O'Hara.
All right, it's my turn for the graduates. Okay. Ever since joining AUP in 2001, this recipient has been a consistent and encouraging presence in our library, eager to offer students any needed assistance in every step of a project, paper, or presentation. From brainstorming research questions to suggesting resources, leading citation workshops, and guiding students through the extensive editing process, this recipient engages with students at every step of their research journey with enthusiasm and support. When asking students about this recipient, they've said, he knows everything about everything. There is not a single topic he can't help with. And he always seems so interested, no matter the subject. His patience when assisting graduate students with their theses, and especially the infamous literature reviews, should be studied, as he always seems genuinely excited to help. We thank you for your assistance and your encouraging smile, both in the library and passing through Combs. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Graduate Student Government Staff Award, Michael Stopel. I don't know if he's here, but I'll give it to Mark. Is Michael here? No, okay. For Mark. Okay, now for the faculty. This year's recipient of the Graduate Student Government Faculty Award is someone who I feel truly embodies the spirit of AUP. His energy, commitment, and enthusiasm for education is felt profoundly amongst the graduate student body. Not only is he a wonderful professor, but he is also the head of the Faculty Senate, an adventurous tour guide to places like Iceland and India, and an iconic DJ at graduate events. Demonstrating that this faculty member can truly do it all. His dedication to the graduate student body, both in and outside the classroom, is felt by students universally. In the classroom, he encourages students to question the world around them, urging them to consider diverse narratives and how these stories are conveyed. His passion for shaping future generations of investigators and communicators, along with his dedication to lifelong learning, is beyond inspiring to observe. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Graduate Student Government Faculty Award, Charles Talcott. All right. This year's recipient of the Graduate Student Government Student Award exemplifies exceptional dedication and achievement. In addition to completing a degree in human rights and data science, this student collaborated with Professor Perry to establish the AUP think tank for human rights and technology. Officially registered as a student club initiative, the think tank brought representatives from UNESCO and numerous networking opportunities to graduate students throughout the year. In an interview with AUP, she emphasized the importance of creating a space outside the classroom where graduate students across all disciplines could bring their academic interests and professional experiences to discuss issues related to human rights and technology and build relationships with each other. This student has gone above and beyond during their time at AUP and will leave a long-lasting mark on campus well after her time as a student. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Graduate Student Government Student Award, Sarah Marie Trett. Thank you so much.
Each of you arrived at AUP with a story already in progress, perhaps uncertain of its new direction, its detours, and its destination. But over these years in Paris and at AUP, through the late-night writing of papers and meticulous research, through creative purpose and dedication, you've crafted something remarkable. A new voice, a deeper understanding, a future forged by knowledge and imagination. Throughout your studies here, you've been encouraged not only to acquire skills, but to shape your personal narrative, to understand that your journey is not a series of isolated experiences, but a coherent, evolving story that you determine and that can move and serve others. You've shaped a narrative here in Paris and at AUP that goes far beyond your neighborhood, this campus, and your transcripts. You've created community. You've questioned assumptions. You've given voice to new futures. And as AUP graduates, and as the very notion of commencement suggests, your stories don't end today, they're just beginning. They're the prologue to a narrative that only you can write, and they will evolve, expanding outward into your workplaces, your communities, your engagements and commitments. Yesterday afternoon, we spent a moment hearing from and recognizing the outstanding GPS finalists for the ways in which they've crafted their personal stories. Could you please give everybody who did GPS a special round of applause? As the Graduate Professional Skills Framework reminds us, your story is what will set you apart. It's how you'll persuade employers and others of the depth and creativity and relevance of your education and passions. When you tell the story of how you became who you are, why your perspective matters, why your learning has value, why you can make a difference, my hope is it will always reflect your time here at AUP, your time here in Paris, your time together. And when you return, as many of you will, to share your experiences with future students, you'll offer them not only advice but testimony, an affirmation that narrative shapes reality and that an AUP education brings value not just to you as a graduate, but to a world held in common. Your education has given you knowledge and many, many capabilities. It has also given you that voice, and that voice is yours to use, not just to advocate for your own success, but to change lives, to uplift communities, to reimagine what this world can be. The narrative that you are each writing is how you will lean in and live into your true aspirational self. It's how you'll shape policy, influence culture, build institutions, and make change. We just recognized 2 very special alumni of AUP for doing exactly this. And so I come now to our honorary degree recipients, each of whom has shaped worlds and forged change through their self-expression and through the impact that their creativity has had on communities worldwide. Honorary degrees hold a sacred place in commencement ceremonies, offering an opportunity to hold up inspiring exemplars of mission to our graduates. Today, we honor 3 such individuals for their contributions to the fields of scholarship, literature, and the arts. They join you at today's ceremony in receiving recognition for their work by the American University of Paris. Julien Creuset, Edouard Louis, and Marina Warner have each demonstrated the power of representation, whether in words, images, sound, or movement, and shown us the deep human value in inventing, reclaiming, and reinterpreting narratives. Each of them has shown how collective and personal narratives shape identities, enable the reclaiming of space and power, and illuminate injustice. You'll hear more about each of them in just a minute, but as you take in their exceptional accomplishments, I invite you to reflect on the ways in which you have studied narrative in literature and film, in history and politics, in social discourse as a vehicle for human understanding. Not only human understanding, but cultural insight and social change. I invite you to think about the ways in which your experience and your commitments can give voice for others, can illuminate injustice and inequality, and to consider how your interdisciplinary studies, your exploration across fields, geographies, and cultures, and across forms and media can empower you to engage with complexity and contradiction, with purpose and with hope. Our first honorary degree recipient is Julien Creuset. Will Julien Creuset please step forward, escorted by Professor Hervé Vanel. Julien Creuset, you are an internationally acclaimed artist and poet, exploring the intercultural legacy of the African Caribbean and the complexities of their diasporic experience. Inspired by your heritage in Martinique, which you call the heart of your imagination, your work weaves together historical and political narratives to open dialogue around colonialism and marginalized identities. You draw on a kaleidoscope of disciplines such as sculpture and technology, music and dance, and philosophy and literature to forge a singular voice and are an accomplished architect of immersive, multi-sensory environments that invite reflection and invoke joy. Last year, you became the first Afro-Caribbean and one of the youngest artists ever to represent France at the 60th Venice Biennale. In recommending your work, the International Committee celebrated its plurality of practices, all infused with the strength and generosity of poetry. Your exhibition combines vibrant tapestries, sculptures, scents, sounds, and languages to build conceptual bridges across oceans and histories, linking the Caribbean to Latin America, West Africa, France, and Venice. Expressing the accessibility central to your practice, your exhibit debuted in Martinique, the first National Biennale pavilion to launch outside Europe. As you describe it, this brought together words that have very little chance of meeting. Currently on view at the Bell Gallery at Brown University, the exhibition will next travel to the Institute for Contemporary Art at Virginia Commonwealth University and the Gund at Kenyon College. The wide recognition for your work includes a nomination for the Prix Marcel Duchamp in 2021 and the Camden Arts Centre Prize at Frieze London in 2019. Your solo exhibitions include shows at Luma Foundation, Arles, and Luma Westbau, Zurich, Camden Arts Centre, London, and the Palais de Tokyo, Paris. You now share your passion and insight with the next generation as a professor and head of the sculpture studio at the École des Beaux-Arts de Paris. Julien Creuset, for your visionary exploration of cultural memory, your championing of inclusion in contemporary art, and your commitment in your own words to share various imaginations with others. The American University of Paris salutes you and is proud to bestow upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the American University of Paris, and with the recommendation of the faculty voting in assembly, I confer upon you, Julien Creuset, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. As you accept this degree and this hood, we are proud to honor you as a lifelong member of the American University of Paris community. Congratulations.
Bonjour. When we start a speech in the Martinique, we can talk about the image of the conteur. And very often the conteur starts with some onomatopoeia, and the audience need to repeat the onomatopoeia. If I'm start with yekra, the audience need to say yekri. If I'm say ye mystikri, the audience need to say ye mystikra. I just would like to try. Ye kra. Ye mystikri. I have some question. What you learn about Paris, what you learn about France, and what you learn about the bridge of Alexandre III, the bridge of the Art Bridge close to French Academia, and what you learn about Les Buttes Chaumont, what you learn about the garden of Vincennes, and what you learn about La Goutte d'Or. I think in France and specifically in Paris have a lot of particularity and a lot of beauty. But one thing is how this particularity can affect you, and that it is really important. And I wrote like a speech, but I don't want to read what I wrote yesterday. I just would like to improvise because we have like some discussion, and one discussion it's about I'm not learn English at school. I'm learning English in a reality, and I'm follow the work, and the work helped me to learn to speak English because it was a necessity. And I would like to mention this beautiful word, what means necessity? What means the little thing can give you the energy every morning to wake up. And I have a lot of words I would like to use today. For example, I like the word of passion. Why? The passion can be like a motor of energy. Passion can be a reason to understand why we wake up every morning. And when you finish your studies and you go to have like a job, it depends what you would like to do in your life. Never forget the word of passion. Passion needs to exist every day. I have a second word really important. It's a word of joy. We can fight with joy. We can resist with joy. We can do many things with joy. We can have like a very horrible discussion with joy. But the joy can be like a power of resistance, and that can be really important because sometimes it is a very long journey. And I like, in French we say chemin de traverse. In English we say desire path. And in Creole we say chemin chien, the road of the dog or the path of the dog. And I like this metaphor, how a dog can find his own circulation inside the city, inside the garden, and can find other solution. Sometimes it can be like the same metaphor of many people do in the past. And this morning we mentioned also an exhibition, Paris Noir, in the Pompidou Center. If you have chance to visit this show, it can be really important. And this show presents some artists from Black diaspora live in Paris between 1950 and 2000, and some artists of this exhibition never was exhibited before. Some artists of this exhibition wait maybe more 60, 70 years before to have like a moment of visibility, and sometimes the road can be long. And we need never forget that. We need to, every day, every morning, wake up with joy. Every morning, wake up with passion, and just be yourself.
Our second honorary degree recipient today is Edouard Louis. Would Edouard Louis please step forward, escorted by Professor Russell Williams. Madam Chair, distinguished guests, faculty, students, parents, friends, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our second candidate for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. I'm pleased to present this honorary degree to distinguished writer Edouard Louis. Edouard Louis, you are one of today's most influential voices in French literature, addressing urgent issues of class, violence, and identity through the lens of personal history. You have courageously channeled your lived experience of poverty, homophobia, and marginalization to reveal difficult truths about society and speak them to power. By illuminating the political within the personal, you have held a mirror up to France and ignited vital conversations about inequality and social transformation that resonate far beyond its borders. The first in your family to attend university, you earned a bachelor's and then a master's degree at the prestigious École Normale Supérieure. You first gained international recognition in 2014 with the publication of your autobiographical novel, En finir avec Eddie Bellegueule, or The End of Eddie. The book unsparingly traces your path from a childhood shaped by economic hardship, hostility to difference, and shame, to a life of intellectual and political engagement, and reckons with what it means to cross the boundaries of one's origins. The End of Eddie became a bestseller in France and has been translated into over 20 languages. Edouard Louis, your subsequent novels, History of Violence, Who Killed My Father, and A Woman's Battles and Transformations, are acclaimed for their literary merit, as well as for prompting broad conversation about social experience and belonging. Through essays and activism, including front-page pieces in Le Monde and the New York Times, you have challenged dominant narratives calling for collective responsibility and renewed public engagement. In your words, writers and journalists bear the weight of responsibility for the future. We have to fight for the powerless, for a language that gives a place to the most invisible people. Your work has been embraced by a global readership and adapted for the stage, with you personally starring in productions at London's Young Vic, Berlin's Schaubühne, and Sedan's Warehouse in New York City. Edouard Louis, for your outstanding contributions to French literature, dedication to truth and justice, and conviction that difference can strengthen and unite us, the American University of Paris salutes you and is proud to bestow upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
I printed my little speech, but I forgot it this morning because I had to wake up so early. Fortunately, I have it on my phone. Technology. Dear professors, dear members of the university, dear students, of course, when I announced to one of my closest friends that I was getting an honorary degree from the American University of Paris, he frowned and told me, "Be careful. Don't let institution and the system absorb you." I asked him what he meant, and he replied, "Don't you want to be a young radical writer? If you want to remain radical, you cannot flirt too much with institutions and prestigious recognitions, such as honorary degrees. You should stay more in the margins." His sentence left me perplexed. It was not the first time someone gave me that impression of telling me where I should belong, the sides, the shadows, the underworld. A few years before, a literary critic, openly right-wing, commented a picture of me sitting in my apartment in Paris and wrote that I was betraying the legacy of left-wing revolutionary writers such as Jean Genet or Pasolini, because according to him, those writers were living in the streets, wild and almost barefoot, like stray cats, while I, Edouard Louis, was just sitting in an apartment in Paris, surrounded by books. Even without considering the absurdity and the historical mistakes beyond these sentences, because Pasolini actually had a very beautiful house, this remark reminded me of an interview I had read a few years before. It was in 2013, when France was fighting for same-sex marriage and equality. That day, a far-right-wing politician was giving an interview in which she was stating that, in fact, gay and lesbian people should not get married, because, after all, marriage was an old institution, quite bourgeois, and gay and lesbian people have been so creative in history, according to these far-right women, precisely because they always stayed in the margins, outside of any institutions. How interesting it is, I thought, to read the far-right praising the margins. Quite ironical. Because in fact, this person was not praising the margins. She was instead trying to draw a line between the inside and the outside, the legitimate and the illegitimate. Who gets to tell us where we belong? Let me tell you a personal story. I grew up in a small working-class town in the north of France. My father was a factory worker and a street sweeper. My mother was alternatively jobless, cleaning woman, caretaker for old dying women. I grew up in an environment where we had access to nothing, no travels, no academic studies, no comfort, no money, no right to culture. We dreamed of getting everything. We were dreaming of getting money, of getting power, of being seen as a revenge against the lack of absolutely everything which was shaping our daily lives. When I moved to Paris and started to study, suddenly surrounded by people who grew up with much more privileges than I did, I was both fascinated and puzzled to witness them rejecting everything that in my family we had been dreaming of during my whole childhood. They despised it, and I realized they despised it because they always had an easy and obvious access to it. It's normal and easy to reject what you have. It's harder to reject what the world had took away from you. Compared to them, I was not radical enough, not revolutionary enough. I felt ashamed. But now I came to realize that what was radical for them was not radical for me. For them, what was subversive was to withdraw themselves from the power they were given when they were born. For me, the most radical act against my fate, against my destiny, against my society, was to take everything this society had been denying to me. Something can be subversive for one person and not for another person. Something can be subversive in one context, in one trajectory, and limiting in another one. There is no stable definition of those realities. They are a matter of movement, of motions, of contexts. Marriage is a bourgeois institution, But when it makes millions of bigots going in the streets and protesting, like it happened in France, then marriage becomes revolutionary. And maybe the next day it will become conservative again, and we will fight against the bourgeois limitations imposed by marriage. Language can be a source of oppression, but in some contexts, a source of liberation, like when Toni Morrison used it to depict lives of Black Americans, or when Jean Genet used it to describe lives of criminals, prostitutes, queers. Old prestigious university can carry conservative ways of thinking, of approaching the world. But if they invite you to talk about class, politics, poverty, war, revolution, seize this opportunity. Take it to say things that the institutions traditionally will not you allow to say. So here is what I want to tell you today. Don't let anyone tell you where you should be. Don't let anyone dictate you what is subversive and what is not. Just fight. Use anything you have. Take possession of the places where you are not supposed to be. Take possession of the places where we don't expect you. You should rob society the way we rob a bank. No rules, no chiefs, just you and your fight and your upcoming victories. Thank you.
Would Marina Warner please step forward, escorted by distinguished Professor Dan Gunn. Madam Chair, distinguished guests, faculty, students, family and friends, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our final candidate for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. It is with great pride that I present on behalf of the American University of Paris an honorary degree to Marina Warner. Marina Warner, you are a celebrated author and cultural historian whose wide-ranging and deeply penetrating work explores myths, religious texts, and storytelling traditions across societies and generations to illuminate how we understand ourselves and our world. As the author of nearly 40 books of fiction, memoir, and scholarship, you have greatly enriched public understanding of the power of narrative to shape cultural identity and values. This includes your groundbreaking studies, Alone of All Her Sex, on the Virgin Mary, From the Beast to the Blonde, on fairy tales and their tellers, and Stranger Magic, Charm States, and the Arabian Nights. Your 5 exceptional novels, including The Lost Father, shortlisted for the Booker Prize, and your numerous insightful essay collections. Your voice also brings clarity and depth to art and literary criticism through regular contributions to the New York and London reviews of books. Your many accolades include the 2014 Holberg Prize in the Arts and the 2024 Robert B. Silvers Prize for Literary Criticism. A committed educator and researcher, you have brought your expertise to numerous appointments, currently including Professor of English and Creative Writing at Birkbeck College in the University of London, Distinguished Fellows of All Souls College, Oxford, and as a Fellow of the British Academy. At the American University of Paris, the Center for Writers and Translators was proud and honored to collaborate with you on the much-lauded 39th title in its Cahiers series. Published in 2022, your volume Temporal, described by one critic as richly associative and imaginative essay, and as a highly personal but wonderfully erudite response to the bizarre times we all shared alone. Explores ancient ways of measuring and marking time, how the rituals of your Catholic schooling helped you to find meaning during pandemic lockdowns, and how these traditions might enhance modern secular life. Marina Warner, you break further ground on these ideas in your forthcoming book, Sanctuary, Ways of Telling, Ways of Dwelling. This work traces concepts of sanctuary and hospitality across time and cultures and challenges today's definitions of borders and migration, calling for an urgent reimagining of the right to safety, freedom of movement, and peace. Today, Marina Warner, for the distinction of your career and your lifelong commitment to revealing the essential nature of humanity through the stories we tell, the American University of Paris is proud to bestow upon you the degree of Doctorate of Humane Letters, honoris causa. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the American University of Paris and with the recommendation of the faculty voting in assembly, I confer upon you, Marina Warner, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. As you accept this degree in hood, we're proud to honor you as a lifelong member of the American University of Paris community. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for these very warm words and for conferring this great honor on me. And congratulations to you all who are graduating today. When I graduated, a rather long time ago, I promised myself that in the future I wouldn't cast nostalgic glances backwards and mumble to the young like you that I lived in a golden age. Things Ain't What They Used to Be was a very popular song then. It lamented that monkeys were flying around the moon, and we'll be up there with them soon. In the last century, Franz Kafka wrote bleakly to a friend, there is hope, but not for us. Is there hope now, for you, for us? Has anything changed for the better? I think it has. And this is my list of changes, and it could be longer. Firstly, awareness of prejudice and injustice is done. When I first went to New York, I was longing to go and be there because it was the time of awakening, of civil rights, feminism, pop art, beat poetry, epic novels. These movements led to historic shifts to be proud of, not to repudiate, and certainly not to overturn. Secondly, women's emancipation and far greater freedom of movement. When I started researching and used to travel on my own, I was treated as an oddity and often challenged, not always kindly. People were worried for my safety. Now a young woman can give rein to her desire to explore the world far more widely than I would have attempted, and the chief reason for this, greater freedom, is the gain in authority over one's body and its reproduction. Thirdly, there was a refreshed and deeper understanding. There is a refreshed and deeper understanding of sexuality, differences, freedom to talk about them. Homosexuality was a crime when I was growing up in the UK. There are many, many other gains. Children used to be beaten, and it was approved at home and in schools. Wives were hit. Both, I'm not saying they don't happen, but both are now outlawed. Men and women can be friends without rumors and gossip and public shaming. I could go on. For example, the food has much improved. Avocados were unknown when I was a child. But more seriously, most of these freedoms are related to the larger right, the right to freedom of expression. Censorship was the dominant target in my youth of our resistance. Causes célèbres were D.H. Lawrence's Lady Chatterley's Lover, and from the US, Last Exit to Brooklyn by Hubert Selby Jr. Both were banned in the UK and the subject of long headline-making trials. Heroes of progress did things like use four-letter words on the BBC and campaigned to end the power of the Lord Chamberlain to decide what could be staged. In 1989, Visions of Ecstasy, a short film dramatizing the voluptuous visions of St. Teresa of Avila, was charged with blasphemy, and the film was suppressed. I was called as a witness for the defense. The blasphemy law in the UK was only abolished in 2008. Questions surrounding censorship have caught fire again, as you all know, most virulently in countries like the US and Hungary, where censorship takes the economic form of cutting off funding. While this summary and traditionally despotic form of suppressing freedom calls out for determined resistance, the open forum of social media has opened a whole host of other questions and calls to us to find a way to stop rage unleashed and staunch the wounds that social media can inflict. It's a contradiction. On the one hand, freedom to think and publish and speak. On the other, democratic ideals of civility, cohesion, and mutual understanding, indifference, coexistence, convivencia. As a writer, I am caught on the horns of this dilemma. And as a consequence of social media, yet another danger to expression has developed, a widespread internalized fear of being ostracized or being mocked or threatened for your opinions and even for your appearance and body. And this has led to morbid anxiety, alongside muffling, guarded words, self-censorship, singing dumb in order to survive. Laws condemning hate speech, restrictions and indictments of trolling and cyberbullying shouldn't be opposed in the supposed interests of freedom of speech. And yet, the ancient dilemma still remains. Who will decide what is not to be permitted? Who will be the gatekeepers? Who will watch over them? Who will define the margins and the inside? It has to be you. It has to be us, the inhabitants and users of language and its vehicles, ordinary daily wielders of words. I was recently reading Mikhail Bulgakov's The Master and Margarita, a book that he was writing from 1928 and couldn't publish in Soviet Russia under Stalin, and a book that only saw the light of day here in Paris in 1967, years after his death. It has since illuminated readers' minds, as well as making us laugh and cry and delight in his brilliance, versatility, and inventiveness. Bulgakov shows us how he didn't cringe and alter his vision in order to please the powers that would not let his words appear. There is a phrase for this kind of courage, speaking truth to power, and it was actually used earlier. Only a very few of us, however, are so brave. But we can dissent. We can oppose our disbelief to the deceptions practiced on us. One of my students in the Middle East once said to me that she liked making up stories in her head because that was one place that the authorities, her parents and others, could not reach. The old saying, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me," is plain wrong. There is a much less well-known adage, "The tongue has no teeth, but a deeper bite." So this is why you and your generation can and will make a difference. It is up to you to decide how you will create rather than censor, how you will make words from your different interests and interactivities work towards fostering a structure of feeling that will fill the cybersphere and crowd out the deceivers, the traffickers in hate speech and prejudice, the sowers of discord. You have the means, you are the wordsmiths now. You can and will replace disinformation with illumination. Thank you.
The following senior speaker was elected by her peers in the senior class. Today, she graduates with them and with a major in global communications, and was just recognized as one of the GPS students. I call now on Annalisa Cabral Sanchez.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome family members, friends, and faculty, and a special good morning to my fellow graduates. Today is not just a celebration of what we have done, but a reflection of all those who have made our dreams possible. So to every parent, sibling, mentor, guardian, and friend here today, we thank you. My name My name is Annalisa Cabral Sanchez, and standing here as a graduate of the American University of Paris feels nothing short of surreal. It's a privilege to speak before you all here today, because today I'm the first in my entire family to graduate from university. And I carry that not as a burden, but as a profound responsibility and a source of pride. Today, we leave with more than degrees. We leave with memories, with friendships, with versions of ourselves forever tied to this city and this institution. Speaking of memories, let's talk about the Combs first floor for a second. You know the Combs Gallery classrooms, the ones that look so perfect on the AUP website that they practically sold AUP to the half of us. These rooms were more than just classrooms. They were mirrors, reflecting back to us all the versions of ourselves that we were trying to become. A space where you can start your morning surrounded by the most perfectly curated vintage outfits you've ever seen, and end your day in the same room hosting a club meeting, a debate, or even a party. That flexibility and that ability to hold so many versions of ourselves in just one space is one of the greatest lessons that AUP gave us. And as AUP reimagines what its future spaces will look like, I think we should be asking ourselves the same question. What kind of space do I want to take up in the world? Maybe it's a place where you're no longer the only one that looks like you. Maybe it's a role where your voice challenges systems, tells the truth, or heals. Maybe it's just a chair pulled up at your favorite bistro, surrounded by the friends that now feel like home. Whatever space you choose, remember that you are not defined by a single version of yourself. You're allowed to evolve, you're allowed to change, and every version of you is worthy of taking up space. Because many of us, especially those who grew up in immigrant families or marginalized communities, were taught to take up as little space as possible. If there's one thing we've learned at AUP, it's to take pride in who we are, to carry our stories like stitched flags across our shoulders, woven from the places we come from, the languages we speak, and the quiet resilience we've built in the classrooms, the crowded metros, and yes, even the prefecture office. It taught us that identity isn't about fitting into a box. It's about blooming, wild, resilient, and true. And that reminds me of the cempasúchil, la flor de la vida, the marigold flower, the flower of life. In Mexican culture, the marigold is more than just a flower. The marigold is sacred with its bright color and strong scent. It's a symbol of life, of death, memory, and of return. The marigold teaches us even when we wither, we return, and we continue, we bloom again and again. AUP also gave us something invaluable, a community that taught us to see one another fully. When I look out into the audience now, I don't just see classmates, I see the most brilliant, creative, and passionate individuals I've ever met. We didn't just sit in classrooms together, we shared our stories and our traditions. I'll never forget painting my first ever daya during Diwali, or celebrating Lunar New Year and learning the meaning behind a hongbao, a red envelope, or experiencing Ramadan and Eid for the first time. Learning about each other's cultures wasn't just fascinating, it was intimate. And in those moments, I realized something. We are more alike than we are different. We are all just people trying to belong and to be understood. And somehow, in this city and at this institution, we found that in each other. And living in Paris as an international student, we know, deserves its own degree. It's rehearsing your boulangerie order 100 times, only for the cashier to wildly go off the script that you practiced in your head. It's learning which metro line will be your own personal nemesis, and if you're wondering, mine was line 4. It's learning that you can build a life anywhere, even far from where you began. Before I leave this stage, I would like to share with you all why my education is so important to me. I'm proud to be a Mexican-American student, the daughter of 2 immigrants from Mexico. It does not elude me for a single second that so much blessings in my life come from so much sacrifice in theirs. My grandfather had to stop his education just after the 2nd grade, and my own father was forced to leave school after the 5th grade. At just 16 years old, my father, like many others, left his home country with no money, no English, and no certainty, only with the belief that something better had to be possible. And that risk and that sacrifice is what allows me to stand here today. But history, as we know it, has a way of repeating itself. Today, we see families torn apart at borders, we see rights stripped away, and we hear rhetoric that echoes the same exclusion and cruelty that our grandparents once fought against. So all of our presence here today, all of our pride, all of our stories, and all of our voices are all acts of resistance. Today, I dedicate this moment to every immigrant family, to every child in a classroom sitting somewhere, daring to dream, even when the world tells them not to. And especially to my mother, whose quiet sacrifices made room for loud dreams. Now, to my fellow graduates, I know you will build extraordinary lives and do amazing things. But let our degrees remind us that our education does not shield us from the truths around us. It must not. Let us use our education not only to succeed, but to advocate for those whose voices who are often left unheard, especially when doing so feels daunting or uncomfortable. So let the work you do in the future reflect not just the world as it is, but the world as it could be and should be. So remember to take up space, fight injustice in all its forms, keep evolving, and never forget to bloom again and again like the marigold flower. Congratulations, the class of 2025.
Thank you, Annalisa. The following graduate speaker was also elected by his peers. Today, he graduates with a master's in global communications with a specialization in development communications. I now call on Danielle Carter.
In 1943, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry gave us his paramount work, Le Petit Prince, or The Little Prince, a story about a boy who travels through the universe and discovers that the true value lies not in what we see, but in the time, care, and love we give to others. In a pivotal moment of the story, the boy receives this advice about his cherished rose, the flower he spent so long tending after. It is the time you have wasted for your rose that makes your rose so important. Friends, family, faculty, staff, and the graduating class of 2025, bonjour, good morning, hello. We gather here today, dressed in our robes, soon to be holding diplomas and surrounded by the people who helped us along the way. It might seem like today is about a piece of paper or a title added to our names, when it's really about buffing our LinkedIn pages to reach those 500 follower counts. But other than that, today is about something deeper. Today is about the rose, or the marigold, or any other flower of your choosing. It's about the time we chose to invest our attention and our love. So today, I want to reflect on our journey using this simple exercise that a classmate and a friend taught me here. Something about the rose, the thorn, and the bud. Because if you think about it, our time at AUP has had all three. Let's start with the rose, the beautiful bloom. Our rose is everything that we've built together and individually. From every paper or presentation we finished, the hours spent working in the library, to every class we attended, yes, even the 9 a.m. ones, each petal formed as a memory. From the club meetings we stumbled into and never wanted to leave, the time spent in line at the Amex just waiting to taste that crispy chicken sandwich again, to the friends we made on study trips all over the world, from Iceland to India, where call sang became everyone's Aurovilian surrogate mother. A thank you to Anna from the Cultural Programs Office for helping coordinate such impactful study trips. For some, this might be the first advanced degree, your rose, that you or your family have received. To the first generation students, well done. You have made your loved ones proud. To our adult learners and non-traditional students, much like myself, your memories, mentorship, and efforts have also been invaluable to AUP. Thank you for cultivating your rose with us. Our roses carry the fragrance of every moment we've invested, not just in our degrees, but in ourselves and in each other. As the Little Prince reminds us, what makes something important is not how perfect it is, but how much of ourselves we've poured into it. Our journey has been beautiful, not because it was easy, but because of the time and energy we gave it. And that brings me to the thorns. Because let's be real, no rose grows without a few thorns. The hours spent writing literature reviews that somehow turned into existential crises at 2 a.m., the endless internship hunting and writing cover letters, the flights of stairs we climbed each day to reach our 5th floor walk-up, no elevator, Parisian dream apartment, sans air conditioning. There were challenges, homesickness, doubt, the bedbug calamity of 2023. But even those thorns served a purpose. They reminded us of what we are capable of, and they helped us grow. They made us more patient, more resilient. They taught us how to laugh at ourselves, how to ask for help, and how to keep going, even when we weren't sure that we could. And finally, the bud. The bud is the part that hasn't bloomed yet, the new beginnings, our potential in the next chapter. It's the future we're stepping into, whether it be careers we're starting, causes we're joining, places we're moving to, or dreams we're still figuring out. It's the opportunity to take what we've learned, not just in the classroom, but about ourselves, and apply it in a world that needs us. Men have forgotten this truth, said the fox to the little prince, but you must not forget it. You become responsible forever for what you have tamed. You are responsible for your rose. Herein lies the truth that the fox tried to tell the little prince. Because we have spent this time tending and nurturing our skills, dreams, and ambitions, we are now responsible for them. The world we're walking into needs people who remember that what matters most isn't always visible. It needs people who remember that value isn't in what you achieve quickly, it's in what you nurture patiently. As we look back and forward, I hope we carry this with us. You are responsible for your rose, for the time you've invested, for the people and the passions you've chosen to care for the person you've become along the way. And that's not a burden, that's a gift. Because you get to keep growing it wherever you go next. You get to decide what to nurture, what to give your energy to, and what kind of rose you want to keep tending in this world. Today, we celebrate a very visible moment. The caps, the gowns, the cheers, the champagne. But it's everything invisible underneath that brought us here. The patience, the perseverance, the love. And just like the little prince, we must never forget this truth, that we are responsible for our roses. And fellow students, I know we are going to make them bloom in ways we can't even imagine yet. So to my students and peers, celebrate your rose, appreciate your thorns, and look forward to your buds with hope, with courage, and with pride. Thank you for the time that you've spent, for all the beauty that you're about to bring into this world. Congratulations, class of 2025. Let's go tend our roses.
There are times in the life of an institution when we mourn the loss of a community member, even as we celebrate their life and contributions. Today, before we move to the great celebration of awarding the bachelor's and master's degrees, I want to take a moment to acknowledge a staff member, Alexander de la Palme, who, despite the ups and downs of ill health and disability, had a long-held desire to earn one day an AUP degree. Serving the institution as an inter-office mail carrier for 18 years, from September 1996 until his passing just a year ago on May 20th, at the age of 46. Alexander fulfilled that dream in part by registering for and earning course credit in theatre and French language and literature at the American University of Paris. Keenly interested in the theatre, Alexander also participated in amateur dramatics in Paris and appeared on stage in AUP's Olivier de Havilland Theatre. For his dedication to AUP and to the classes that he took while serving as a staff member, and in recognition of his service to the community and his love of learning, today we honor the memory of Alexander de la Palme with the posthumous award of a Certificate of Academic Achievement. Please would Alexander's family, Alix, David and Daisy, come up to receive this.
This is the moment of awarding bachelor's and master's degrees to the class of 2025. Est-ce qu'on pourrait avoir la lumière dans la salle, s'il vous plaît? Will the 2025 candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please stand? Provost Stevens, Provost Wesley, Chair Downey, I present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. They have successfully completed all requirements for the degree and have been approved by the faculty.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the American University of Paris, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated. Will the 2025 candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science please stand? Est-ce qu'on pourrait avoir un petit peu plus de lumière dans la salle, s'il vous plaît? Qu'on voit la beauté de nos diplômés. Non, c'est pas possible? Non? Non, c'est pas possible. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. President Stevens, Provost Wesley, Chair Downey, I present the candidate for the degree of Bachelor of Science. They have successfully completed all requirements for the degree and have been approved by the faculty.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the American University of Paris, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated. We now turn to the Master of Arts candidates. Will the 2025 candidates for the degree of Master of Arts please stand? President Stevens, Provost Wesley, Professor Elder, Professor Perry, Professor Chair Downey, I present the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts. They have successfully completed all requirements of the degree and have been approved by the faculty.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the American University of Paris, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Arts with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated. Will the 2025 candidates for the degree of Master of Science please stand? President Stevens, Provost Wesley, Professor Rhoda, Professor Doyle, Professor Kath, Chair Downey, I present the candidates for the degree of Master of Science. They have successfully completed all requirements for the degree and have been approved by the faculty.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the American University of Paris, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated. It is the tradition of the American University of Paris to initiate graduates into the worldwide community of AUP alumni. This year marks a very special moment, as today, graduate of the class of 2025 will be the first to graduate directly into the newly formed American University of Paris Alumni Association. I now call on Courtney Stombuck, Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations at the American University of Paris.
Good afternoon. In a few moments, when you cross the stage, I will have the distinct pleasure of counting you as alumni of the American University of Paris. Today, you join more than 23,000 alumni around the world as part of the newly formed Alumni Association. This diverse and dynamic community is united by its shared experiences at AUP and is ready to receive you no matter where you land in the world. As you journey into alumnihood, I hope that you'll find ways to stay connected, whether that's through mentorship, volunteering, or attending events, and importantly, supporting the next generation of AUP students, as many of you have done through your class gift this year. As you pass across the stage, members of the Alumni Relations team will be there to give you a small token of our congratulations that you can carry with you through the next phase of your journey. On behalf of the American University of Paris Alumni Association, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you, Courtney. Now I will read the names of the new graduates as you proceed onto the stage to receive your diplomas. If you stand one row at a time, only one row at a time, people seated behind will be able to see the stage. Although I know this is an exciting time for everybody, I would beg the audience to please refrain from applauding for too long, at least until all the degrees have been awarded, because I've been told in my ear, champagne is getting warm. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Yeah. Do I get the, who gives me the card?
Yes, no.
Let's do it. Hamad, Global Professional Skills Program. Mackenzie Lee Ailio, magna cum laude, departmental honors, GPS program. Lynn Aldacak, magna cum laude, departmental honors. Tara Amir Sardari, cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Grace Abrahamian, GPS. Lulu Usher. Babailova Olga, cum laude, GPS. Mialin Bachei. Yasmina Bari, magna cum laude, GPS. Haley Ann Belcher. Daniela Benavides Quiroz. Sofia Louise Spashinsky Beninato, GPS. Julia Ngalula Beya, GPS. Amelia Bolaris, cum laude, departmental honors. Kara Booker, GPS. Nicole Isabel Borda Angulo. Bianca Cristina Boso Navarro Grau, magna cum laude. Liam Joseph Siamo Brand, magna cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Isabel Brissett, cum laude. Ophelia Nisha Broyaningo, GPS program. Blake Burham, departmental honors. Annalisa Cabral Sanchez, GPS. Delaney Callahan. Chiara Alice Carrière, magna cum laude, departmental honors. Alexander Castleberry. Clarissa Elizabeth Cavazos. Lola Cheria, cum laude, departmental honors. Mode Chirtau Taite, summa cum laude, departmental honors. Elizabeth Corbett, cum laude, departmental honors. Sarah Fifi Crawford. Hannah Wenstrup Crosby, GPS. Caitlin Marie Daly, cum laude. Melina Lisbeth Danium Buck, cum laude. Manon Caroline Delule, cum laude, departmental honors. Holiday G. Dickens. Molly Drew, cum laude. Hannah Elizabeth Dunestick. Amelia Adams Dunsman, cum laude. Khaled El Turk. Alexi Marie Eldred, cum laude. Sophia Ann Garbio Ellis, magna cum laude. Juliet Sonoma Fan. Emmeline K. Duggan Helsworth. Leonore Isabella Fagensplat Hallux, cum laude, departmental honors. Grant Richard Fleming, cum laude, GPS. Zoe Forbes, summa cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Caroline Fernando, magna cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Valerie Garcini. Piper Rose Gardner. Anima Arlene Hassab. Lauren Sikayi Gima. Harper Lee Gear. Susana Gomez Velasquez, magna cum laude, departmental honors. Emily Nicole Gonzalez Nunes, magna cum laude. Kieran Ludwig Gregori. Isabella Rose Gagliardo. Vasilia Guseva, magna cum laude. Cassia Huntus, cum laude. Ray Haswani. Edwina Henry. Sierra Nestle Ann Heredia Ruiz. Gillian Hilton, departmental honors. Emma Huggins. Nicole Hummel, cum laude. Hannah Rose Jacobs, summa cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Gloria Kabongo, GPS. Chiara Kaich, cum laude. Angel Karchev, summa cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Samana Karnib, cum laude, GPS. Catherine Ziegler Keithley, cum laude. Charlotte Arden Kessler. Sterling Marie Knight, GPS. Madison Tarani Komeli, cum laude. Yusri Xirbra. Liam Philippe Kunz. Zwa Isaiah Ignoni, cum laude. Chimena Lacey. Cross Edward Lawrence, magna cum laude, departmental honors. Lily Jin Lusek. Weiyang Li. Seven Liu, departmental honors. Rebecca Lowell. Anika Jane Lovegren. Charlotte Ophelia Malmio Soli. Jaden David Ryan Marshall. Cheyenne Annie Caroline Martin, cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. What? Emma Martinez Majdisova, cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Lucan P.M. McGuire. Lily Nina Elaine Mildenberger, departmental honors, summa cum laude. Alicia Idali Molina, magna cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Pablo Mofor Milan, summa cum laude, departmental honors. Leah Morera Fernandez, cum laude. Anne Rankin Mori. Oliver Thomas Morley. Yasmin Alexandria Musa. Kundai Ralph Morea, magna cum laude, GPS. Leah Rebecca Nakpal, cum laude, GPS. Ryan Nasser, GPS. Bendineme, magna cum laude, departmental honors. Emily Rose Nestler, magna cum laude, departmental honors. Shelby Susan O'Connell, departmental honors, GPS. Owen Odell, magna cum laude. Ashley Pearson O'Hara, cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Marina Padilla Leng, departmental honors. Isabel M. Palma. Vasilios Papadopoulos. Melody Park. Ravina Patil, summa cum laude, departmental honors. Alexandra Peña Jimenez. Matteo Perardi. Angela Pesa. Karina Alexandra Pittermand, magna cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Olivia G.G. Pitts, GPS. Madison Ponder, magna cum laude, departmental honors. Kylie J. Castat, GPS. Emmanuel Marie Richter, summa cum laude, departmental honors. Lucia Rubio. Mabel Josephine Runyon, cum laude, GPS. Emile Saliba, GPS. Taima Sami Saliba, magna cum laude, departmental honors. Samira San Luis. Virgilio Alejandro Sanchez, GPS. Madeline Schroeder, departmental honors, GPS, summa cum laude. Iris Eleni Selmpisi, departmental honors, GPS, summa cum laude. Jacob Sims, cum laude, departmental honors. What's the point? Joanna Sletton Larson, GPS. Noting. Laura Somaini. Julius Tristan Spring, cum laude, GPS. Shrita Subedi, GPS. Jasmine Tor. Elisa Tiemann, magna cum laude, GPS. Nicholas Trotter. Eugenia Margarita Trujillo, cum laude, departmental honors. Taylor Trial. Alexander Raymond Anthony Ulm. Georgia Grace Varlman, GPS. Vaslili Hanga, magna cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Abigail Louise Vasquez, cum laude, GPS. Natalia Vega Jauregui, GPS. Elise Caroline Vincelet. Solomon Walsh. Tucker Charles Wardle. Daphne Archie Westfall Flock, GPS. Kendall Jalen West, departmental honor, GPS. Mary Frances Whittier, magna cum laude, GPS. Liam Williams. Clayton Elizabeth Wilson. Mallory Yost, magna cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Bachelor of Science, Chico Amiranashvili, departmental honors, GPS. Luis Mario Broker, magna cum laude, departmental honors, GPS. Madison Olivia Crowther, cum laude. Jenna Farah, cum laude. Adam Hawash, departmental honors. Oleksiy Iorovich Olubar, cum laude. Fiona Oliver. Risto Ognianov Pavlov, magna cum laude, departmental honors. Rencina Ida Salerno, magna cum laude, departmental honors. Alden Yun Peng Sneath, cum laude, departmental honors. Sophie Hilda Weisflock, cum laude, departmental honors. Master of Arts, Master in Diplomacy and International Law, Elisa Bushaya. Sydney Marguerite Carlson. Camille El-Kadiri. Queen Denary Fletcher. Joseph Mark Kozman. Joshua Douglas Margray. Savvy Newton. Hannah Ott. Ala Edin Sayud. Grace Wilson. Master of Arts in Global Communications. Karine Ophelia Ayele Maje Atayi. Rebecca Callahan. Sarah Shawan. Christy Dendler. Sarita Idalia Ford. Rose Gruber. Charlotte Elizabeth Jenkins. Elizabeth Maria Eugenie Litterman. Sydney Jean McCormick. Caroline Constance Mels. Ariane Musley. Zineb Ndomaina. Grace Wettenhall O'Hara. Jacob Dalton Shropshire. Fatima Yacoub. Master of Arts, Global Communication, Development Communication, Daniel J. Carter. Justin Aino Kaupi. Rafaela Silvia Marinello. Rahima Mohammadi. Mary Elizabeth Murdo. Victor Nabutua. Alexandra Poelus. Global Communication, Digital Cultures and Industries, Hagar Mohamed Farouk. Kristen Elizabeth Hinkle. Nicole Mee-Jin Hoffman. Spencer Stein Hooker. Owen Camille Brusakora Montear. Elena Leonor Picon. Fashion Track, Ayana Renee Butler. Isabella Casal. Leah Barrett Curry. Violet Doolittle. Alexandra Jones. Victoria Kaltalioglu. Faizan Karmali. Sienna Michelle McCollum. Ira McIntosh. Nataline Mecha. Caitlin Nora Pevdra Dahita. Lisego Tlabi. Leili Chloe Varatesh. International Affairs. Youssef Habaz Ahmed. David Otterburn. Kelly Marie Krieg. Renee Heather Funk. International Affairs, Conflict Resolution and Civic Society Development. Anne-Elise Descamps. Master of Science, Human Rights and Data Science, Evelyn Macedo da Silva. Sarah Marie Hawkinson Trutt. Michelle Danielle Williams. International Management, Sustainability Systems Track, Sami Hamdallah. Strategic Brand Management, Sundara Harrison Cheam. Caroline Elizabeth Marie David. Gordon Bastian Fackler. LaQuisha Jane Nelson. Luz Ramos. Morgan Michelle Smith. Alexandra Laurie Stearns. And David Michael Valdivia. Madam Chair, Madam President, this concludes the conferral of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Master of Arts, and Master of Science degrees. So, graduates, pay attention one last time. To indicate your status as a university graduate, you need to place you shift the tassel of your hat for the bachelor's. So if you received a bachelor's degree, it's from right, you know, the right, to left. Okay? Now, where it becomes more difficult is that for the graduate candidates, you did that a few years back. You went from right to left. So now you have to go from left to right, the other direction. Okay? Please join me in applauding the AUP graduates of the class of 2025. Get up, throw your hats, there you go. Okay, I know you've been told not to follow what the people tell you what to do or what to be, but please sit down. It's now time to close the ceremony, which I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. I call upon again René Mgrira to return the mace to Marshal Gunn. And I would like to ask our faculty marshal, Professor Gunn, to lead the recessional, beginning with the platform party, followed by the faculty. The graduates will be exiting along the aisle on their left. What? I ask our guests to remain seated until the end of the recessional. You have cocktails all over the place, so don't stick to the main lobby. You have one upstairs in the Foyer Palace and the Foyer Mogador, I believe. Thank you, mesdames et messieurs du Théâtre Mogador. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt peut-être. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.